All right, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Big waves to you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Listen, one day we're just going to unmute the lines and just have a bunch of conversations for the whole 15 minutes. Just checking on everybody, like seeing if John Frick is going to drive the ride in the, like, take his tractor out for a spin today. Maybe Brenda Carlton. She likes riding in the, we got Petra down in New Orleans right at the French Quarters. We can hear how the French Quarters are going. And then we got Gulfport, Mississippi, Melissa Jackson. We got Lawrenceburg, Allen right there, like Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, if you've never been there on vacation. So, all right, I think I'm funny. But anyway, the word for today is balance. I'll tell you something else too. We have a great person at our corporate office, Miss Alondra. If you have Alondra's number or you know Alondra, maybe shoot her a text. If you're Facebook friends with her, it's her birthday today. So if you're a part of our company, we have a lot of people on here that's not, so it's okay. Although you should be. Huh. Talk to somebody on here. All right. So now the word for today, I needed this because I spent like 9 hours in the truck yesterday. So I wasn't feeling so great. So Andrew's like, let's slide this word in called balance, 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 Arlene. And the minute I saw this word, you know, the little thing in the gym, I don't know what it's called. I stay away from it. That, oh, a treadmill is no, I know what a treadmill is. Okay. I'm talking about the little machine, the little thing that's kind of got a half moon. And it's one of those things you get on. And if you're not very athletic like me, you tend to fall off or get off balance. What's those things called? Like that teeter totter half ball looking thing, right? I'm
Maybe a
afraid I
Bosu?
whatever, I can't even pronounce that word, but yes, absolutely. You know, and it makes me think that I might twist my ankle. You know what I'm talking about in the gym. So when I think about balance, I think about that, like a state of equilibrium, like where you're trying to equal your distribution of your weight. Like that's really the definition of balance. It's having the right amount, not too much over here, not too little over here. Like, and it leads to where you can stay even. Now, I'm going to put this in the world, right? Because balance is not something you find. It's something we've got to create. We've got to create balance. And thank goodness that all of you are not riding on my shoulder every day like a little bird, because you'd be like, man, this guy's out of balance and he's out of control. You know, thank goodness you have a little alone time where you can redistribute the way you feel, right? And I think about balance in life. It's so important, but yet it's so hard. Would you agree balance is hard to find in life? As soon as you get it, it's like a flat tire, right? You're like, I'm kind of feeling like I'm in sync. I'm kind of feeling like I know what I'm doing. And then all of a sudden, boom, flat tire, right? And then life's out of balance again. Okay. Y'all didn't laugh about that. So, anyway, that's the way I kind of feel as I'm going down the road of life is balance is one of those hard things. It's like, man, I start my spiritual walk and I'm feeling good about it, but then my health gets out of control. My health's in control, my business is out of control, and there's a balance thing. So, why do I have to be grounded coming into the day? Because we're going to get unbalanced. If we think that we're in this fairy tale world of just harmony, we're just going to, oh, everything's going to be, come on. Not happening, Arlene. Not happening. So, guess what we got to do? We got to read. We got to give ourselves grace because guess what? There's going to be hectic days out there. Tanya is going to get upset from time to time with Pat. And Pat, no, I'm kidding, Pat. That never happens. Here's the thing we got to stay in balance, but we also got to know that it's okay to deal with life and we might get a little bit out of balance, right? So, how do we bring it back? I believe reading, I believe audio, I believe having a best friend to talk to, right? And going, look, I just need somebody to talk to. This is not geared towards you, but I got to get it off my shoulder. It's been a rough, rough day. Who's that person, right? And maybe don't call them every day with that or they'll stop answering. So here's why it's important. It prevents burnout. Let's take your job, for example. Is there going to be hectic moments? Is there going to be drama? Is there going to be issues that you got to deal with? You can't just avoid them. Like, oh, I'm just going to avoid them so I can stay in balance, so I can stay in harmony. No, you got to deal with them. But at the end of the day, if I do it every single day, it prevents like there's burnout. So keeping balance prevents burnout. It improves health. Like scientific studies say, if I can kind of stay in balance, good harmony. So why I love the coach's corner. It improves health. It starts your day off right. It boosts productivity. Like Ron, when I'm focused on about a half a dozen things that really matter during the day, rather than all this other stuff that gets me out of balance, it produces productivity. Strengthens relationships. How many times have you spiraled out of control? I've never done this. And it hurts a relationship because you've made them mad at you, right? I've done that maybe at least once a week. But okay, in, my toes are getting my toes are getting sore right now. So it encourages joy and fulfillment. When I'm balanced and I'm feeling good, I'm I, I'm a happier human and the world around me appreciates it. And it also, the last thing, it supports personal growth. So balance, like it gives us room when we're balanced. We learn more, we reflect more, we tend to stretch and grow more. But I do want us all, as I turn it to Andrea, to know it's tough. Balance is tough, especially if you're raising kids, you're raising grandkids, you're running around, you're helping family members, right? You're paying bills, all this stuff. It's a tough thing to grab. So don't beat yourself up too much because you're might have a flat tire from day to day, ever so often, and it kind of gets you out of balance. Just read something, recalibrate, hit the reset button, and jump back on that balance train. So, Andrew, I'll turn it to you.
Well, great lesson this morning. And Arlene wants to know what's in your coffee. So just so you know, she wants a little bit of it.
It's
Uh, what?
nothing illegal, Arlene. Nothing illegal. So you know.
Hey, everything's legal somewhere. Okay, so how many of you follow Tony Robbins? Like anybody follow Tony Robbins, know the name Tony Robbins? And one of my favorite and most, I don't know, disconcerting quotes that I ever heard from him was balance, well, we're going to say is BS, right? That balance doesn't really happen in our world. There's always going to be seasons where we're having to prioritize different things. But sometimes we really don't want to hear that, right? Because balance does sound like this beautiful thing that I think we probably all want a little bit more of. And the quote that I found was there's no such thing as work-life balance. It's all life. The balance has to be within us, right? So, how do we create that balance when, yes, doesn't it sound lovely that, we're like, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed by life. So, I'm going to go take a 3 week vacation and I'm going to get my feet rubbed every single day and I'm going to do nothing but drink, I don't know, smoothies. I don't know. Like, right? Like, we're just going to focus on all this self care and all these wonderful things. But you know what? That's not reality for most humans. I don't actually know anybody that goes and does that when things feel a little bit out of balance. So what I looked into is in the real world. right? When we have to live with all the things that Coach was talking about, right? When we have to actually function, how can we pull a little bit more balance and center ourselves in those moments? So, first of all, we do have to take care of ourselves. We have to prioritize that self-care. This is something that Coach has said to me like 47 times in the last. So, Coach, your toes aren't the only toes. But he's like, you got to make sure you're keeping that oxygen mask on. What are you doing to take care of yourself? And I'm like, I will get to it. It's gonna happen. Like, I don't know when, but I'm gonna
How
get
many
to
of
it.
you are good at giving advice, but you really stink at taking it, right? Your own advice, right? As Andrea is saying this, I'm like, did I really coach you on that with somebody that's so out of balance like myself? Okay, anyway,
You did.
glad I
You've
got
been
someone.
really great. You've been
Yeah.
really great. But we've got to make time for those self-care activities such as, and sometimes these can feel like items on the to-do list, but they are the way that we care for ourselves. Exercise, right? Exercise, pray, meditate, do those hobbies that recharge you. You guys, did I even show you guys my little fox? I did crochet. I found a hobby. I gave it away. Maybe I'll start again. Next, I've got to set clear goals. If I don't know what I'm striving for, how in the world am I going to find balance in it? So I've got to define my short and long-term goals in various life areas, such as my career, such as my relationships, such as my health. So I know that what is it that I'm even striving for? Because sometimes anybody else feel like a whirling dervish sometimes? Like I picture that Tasmanian devil in whatever cartoon that was, where you're just like running around like this and you're not quite sure what you're even focusing on. So we got to know what to focus on in order to get balance. Next, I've got to learn to say no. I've got to not overcommit and only take on the I'm laughing because I really have to learn this. Only take on the responsibilities that align with what you're striving for. It can be so easy to be like, yes, 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 because we all want more, right? We all want to help the people we love. We all want, we all want, we all want. But sometimes the best thing we've got to do for that balance is we've got to say no. Next, we have to seek some support. And I saw this once upon a time, but it was like, if you can, hire it out. And that might be the kids that live in your home or a neighborhood, you know, child or a professional service. But if you can afford to have somebody do your laundry, well, then maybe that's something that you can pass off to somebody else. It's actually about 20 cents a pound, so it's not even that expensive. And that's something that could maybe ease a big burden out of all the things that you're doing. So lean on your friends, lean on your family, lean on professionals for that support, either emotional or the physical support that you might need in order to move through your life with a little bit more balance. And then lastly, we're going to say enjoy life. And I think this probably should have been the first one, because if we can find those little pockets of joy and we can have fun and we can laugh and we can appreciate those small moments, doesn't it put it all in balance? And I'm going to give you guys, hopefully in a non-emotional way or minimally way, just talking about the last couple of days. And so I'm going to just bring you guys into the little family world here. So we've been in the hospital at the hospital for a couple of days now. We had a chemo day and then we had a different treatment day. And you know what my sister and I did? We laughed our heinies off any moment that we could over the stupidest things in the entire world. But we pulled in, I'll give you one example. You know those little stand here signs that are on the floor like everywhere since 2020? Well, we made a point of standing on every single one, even when we had to move some hospital equipment just to be lunatics. Like, I'm just going to go stand here and like be a lunatic. And we laughed like children in a horrible day, in a horrible environment, really. But we still found those little pockets of joy. And you know what that did? They brought in some balance in a very unbalanced time. So go laugh, go have some fun, go find a way to enjoy those small moments because that brings a lot more balance. So, good one today, Coach. I think both of our toes might hurt a little bit, but that's okay. It's good for us.
So if we see the little circle today out while we're all out, go stand in the circle, 6 foot apart in that little circle realm. We all know what you're talking about. So yeah, that'll impact the world. That'll be so. I love it. I love it. Guys, have a great Wednesday. We love you so much. We got a 12 o'clock today with Andrea Rosser on training. Yes, look for
And
that.
an
And
8
then we got,
p.m. tonight. So love you guys. Have a beautiful day.
see you guys.